The world practically stopped when Songjoongki revealed the shocking information about Song Hye Kyo. Leeminho had an absolutely explosive response. Our favorite K-drama prince was calm, collected, and in charge one moment. He was clearly shaken the next. His eyes widened and his jaw tightened as though the realization had hit him like a thunderbolt. What did Songjoongki disclose specifically? What layers of meticulously cultivated public personas were breached by those words? And why does Leeminho's remark imply that this narrative might be more complex than it first appears? Keep watching because we'll examine every aspect of this momentous occasion in this video, including fan theories and backstage conflicts that are igniting social media. Let's take a quick look back. On a popular variety show, Songjoongki casually brought up a private discussion she had with Song Hye Kyo. She apparently told him about a previous transgression with Leeminho during this call. Joong Ki made it apparent in his delivery that he had no intention of making this revelation on national television. However, there was no going back after he said those words. Seated in the audience, Leeminho was clearly agitated. Fans had only ever glimpsed a raw mixture of hurt and wrath in his dramatic plays, but his normally unflappable exterior broke. Let's now examine Leeminho's nonverbal cues. His knuckles expanded around the armrest in a brief close-up. In another, his lips were squeezed together so firmly that they appeared to be about to break as he leaned forward. These weren't the staged facial expressions of a performer. They were the uncontrollable responses of a man who had been struck personally. Later on, we'll slow down these crucial moments, so you may see each tiny expression that conveys a deeper meaning than words alone. However, what precisely was the startling disclosure made by Songjoongki? A clip that is making the rounds online claims that Joong Ki implied that Songhyekyo had revealed during a cast reunion that she and Leeminho once had more in common than friendship, implying a covert affair that preceded her well-known relationships. Fans started asking inquiries right away. Was there a covert liaison? Did they split up due to pressure from the industry? Or was this simply a miscommunication exaggerated by eager tabloid reporters and ears? Let's examine the past interactions between these three stars in order to comprehend the significance of this event. Early in their careers, Leeminho and Song Hye Kyo co-starred, creating a relationship that viewers loved. Later, Songjoongki came on board, enthralling audiences with Hye Kyo in one of the biggest songs of the decade. Though public declarations from both sides repeatedly denied any relationship, media outlets speculated incessantly about off-screen feelings over the years. Why then would Joong Ki bring up this revelation at this time? What does this suggest more significantly about his devotion to longtime friends versus professional discretion? We have unique insider analysis that suggests problems have been boiling behind the scenes, so keep watching. According to industry sources, Leeminho and Songjoongki exchanged cold looks during off-camera moments at award events. A rift that started long before this televised outburst was discussed in whispers by backstage staff. We'll also show you unreleased footage from the previous year's film festival, which fans have been watching non-stop, in an attempt to find hints of a falling out that no one has yet to confirm. The fan response, however, has been nothing short of explosive. Online communities have divided into two groups: those who support Leeminho's right to privacy and blame Joong Ki of betraying her, and others who think Hyekyo's sharing of painful memories was motivated by her allegiance to Joong Ki. Theories ranging from a long-standing love triangle to a covert engagement gone awry are blossoming on YouTube and Twitter comment threads. Later in this video, we'll showcase the most intriguing fan investigations, complete with side-by-side comparisons of the interviews and red carpet scenes that feed these rumors. However, what about Song Hye Kyo? She has been remarkably quiet in public, neither confirming nor refuting the most recent rumors. Some claim that she is shielding both guys from additional repercussions by keeping quiet, which says volumes. Some contend that she is holding off on reclaiming her story until the ideal opportunity presents itself. We have access to unique recordings from a recent podcast interview, in which Hyekyo alluded to new directions in her own career. You'll want to listen to the tone of her voice, we promise. The transcript doesn't fully capture the depth of the emotion present. It's hard to overlook the wider ramifications for celebrity culture as the drama develops. Stars have to balance authenticity and overexposure in a time when every moment off-screen may be turned into material. Songjoongki's shocking admission and Leeminho's furious outburst serve as a reminder of how brittle these relationships can be when they are in the public eye. Expert opinion on how social media magnifies every mistake and why celebrities occasionally utilize public appearances to settle personal scores will be covered later in this video. What comes next then? Will there be a statement from Leeminho? Will Song Hye Kyo say anything? Can Songjoongki bounce back from the criticism she received for disclosing such a private matter on live television? Stay tuned as we wrap up by discussing probable next actions, including impending talk show appearances, alleged apology videos, and even a prospective joint interview that could either strengthen or weaken this divide. We pledge to keep you informed of every development. Response and twist as the tale progresses. Don't click away. Watch this space for an in-depth analysis, unique fan theories, and behind-the-scenes information that isn't available anywhere else. Reality can be even more dramatic than fiction in the realm of K-dramas. All of this started out harmlessly. Enough. Songjoongki promoted his new project by appearing on a well-known chat program. The audience anticipated some humor, light-hearted conversation, and perhaps a hint at his next series. Rather, Joong Ki mentioned in passing a private conversation with Song Hye Kyo, in which she supposedly revealed something very intimate about Leeminho halfway through the program. He sounded almost airy, as if he were repeating a friend's misheard remark. However, the subject matter was far from informal. The room was rocked by the revelation. Joong Ki stated, "At lunch last month, Hye-kyo told me there was more to her story with Minho than anyone knows, something she's never admitted publicly," in the now viral video. After a brief pause and a guilt-tinged glance at the camera, he asked another inquiry. 2 seconds was all that was needed for the pause. Viewers got the impression that Joong Ki had gone too far in those brief seconds. Let's dissect it. More about Minho and her story. Never made a public admission. Both a secret relationship and a betrayal of trust were hinted at by these comments, which struck a double-edged blow. Leeminho's live response followed. A man on the brink. Cut to Leeminho sitting in the studio audience. As those words lingered in the air, the camera panned in on his face. His forehead furrowed first, then his mouth clenched. The host's knuckles were white by the time he went on, clutching the armrest like a lifeline. Let's examine this for a moment. Confusion and betrayal were implied by the furrowed brow. A common indication that someone is struggling to control their rage is lip constriction. His body was getting ready for a defensive response, as seen by the stiffness in his shoulders. Each small motion conveyed a lot. We must examine the past in order to completely comprehend the significance of this time. In the late 2000s, Leeminho and Song Hye Kyo became well-known and developed a beloved on-screen collaboration. There was no denying their on-screen chemistry. When Songjoongki later made an appearance, his partnership with Hye Kyo rekindled the romance between the Song couple and gave viewers who were craving romance on and off-screen fresh hope. Off-screen, however, rumors of these 3 celebrities, hidden rivalries and personal conflicts had been simmering for years. Until today, no one had ever verified these rumors.